Welcome to Tough Talk. Join the conversation with Kiwi men as they tell their stories and talk about what they do for me time, what it takes to be tough on the inside, and how to be a good mate. Kia ora, Adam.
Kia ora, bro.
Let's jump in.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about your upbringing.
I was born here in Papamoa, in the Bay of Plenty. I have an older brother. My dad left when I was 3. Growing up was interesting with one mum because I always felt, never knew why, but not having my dad around was very challenging. I always found that quite challenging. The Māori side of me, we whakapapa to Tuahiwi, which is just north of Christchurch. Those are all new discoveries for me though. The family are just jumping into that side of things. It's quite exciting learning that about us.
I know you work in this space now, helping men out and doing things with families. Do you think that was influenced by?
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I link it to because I think that grief and loss is a huge factor with men. Men feel it. Grief and loss, and it comes in all sorts of forms. For me, it was the loss of my father and yearning for a father, wanting a dad, and that was my experience of grief and loss. And that kind of and then in my teen years, my mum was unwell with mental illness, and my brother was at boarding school, so it was just me and mum. So that led to all sorts of struggles at schools, and my later teens having a little bit of gang influence and sort of hanging out with some bad crowds and things like that. So the loss of my dad, but also in my teen years feeling like I'd lost my mum. Because even though she was here, she was unwell, and it was a bit frightening as a teenager having no real stable base. I can link that to how that affected me, and then other men, if they've experienced similar or whatever they may have experienced, I suppose relates. I don't like the word, I don't like saying I know how they feel because everyone feels differently, but I can relate how I may have been feeling similar to how they may have been feeling. Yeah. Yeah.
Gives you that empathy.
Yeah, empathy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what do you do to change? Like what skills did you develop? Like what do you do in your life to stay calm, to feel good, to stay focused?
I kind of have. My family's my focus. I think as a man, I think all men need to feel like they're relevant and they're and they're sort of, what's the word? Important, I suppose, valuable in a community setting. So at home, like I really work on the relationships with my partner and my kids, and those are the first most important things to me. So lots of time with my kids and, doing things, and I take my son hunting a lot, and a little girl playing lots of, I was teaching her ballet last week. Things for me, or what I call me time, I do a lot of hunting. I hunt every week. I love dogs, so hunting with dogs is a bit of a me thing. I get to see my dogs work and the training process and all that sort of thing. And also that for me fills a bit of a gap for, I feel like I'm providing. If I catch an animal, I bring it home and I'm providing for my family, and and physical like training and I boxing and wrestling and jiu-jitsu and things. Those are my me time things.
How do you think that helps? Like if you're feeling stressed, or how do you think going out and hunting or boxing or whatever you're doing, how do you think that works for you?
Well, I think men we have this built-up stores of adrenaline and testosterone, and they're just in there. And there's lots of I see it. Lots of men they wake up that they'll go out, they'll work in an office, or they'll do something that's really not physically taxing on them, and they don't use any of those stores. They're not physically challenged in any way. So they've got these stores and they stay there. They don't go anywhere. They're just there, and they're pent up. So that's where a lot of men come home and they're frustrated. For me, when I go hunting and I catch an animal, I've had times when I don't think I'm going to get out. I'll have an animal on my back and I'm walking up some steep shitty cliff and I can't get out. Wow. I think, I'm going to have to leave it here or something. But you make it out. Yep. All my energy's gone. I'm exhausted. And I get home and I cut it up, then that's where I've spent my adrenaline, I've spent all my testosterone, I left it in the bush.
Mm.
It's same with training. I go to training and I'll have a good blowout on the bag, or wrestling and see my boys. I've got my friends, that's my village, you know, and we train together and I feel good, feel validated, feel important to my mates.
A lot of men don't talk about this.
Yeah.
You know, we hold it all in and we sit quiet and we don't really actually share the things we do
Yeah.
for our own well-being.
Yeah,
I was wondering if you could speak to that a little bit, in your work with men and
totally.
your insights
Yeah,
into it.
absolutely. I think men have developed, over generations of whatever may have happened in previous generations, they've developed this mentality that men need to be hard and suppress feelings, and you know, if you're upset, then you're up, mate. Get over it. You know, have a beer.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you do? Oh, go smash them then. You know, that sort of attitude. But we're sensitive creatures. Men have all these feelings that are right on the edge of our sleeve that we're being forced to shove right back up there and not acknowledge, you know.
Hold down here, eh?
Totally, totally. We all know that there's remedies for anxiety, there's remedies for depression through, I suppose, mindfulness and doing things that men need to do for men. These sorts of things that can calm us and keep us calm and keep us balanced in our communities and our families.
What do we do now? I mean, this has happened. We want to go forward.
Yeah.
What can we do in our lives and as a group to change this and change the effect it's having on our children and the next generation?
What a question. As men? For men? Or as people?
As men and as people.
As men and as people. I think men need to take full responsibility for their own feelings, completely. If you're feeling sad, know you're allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to feel angry. You're allowed to feel happy. You're allowed to feel upset, disappointed. All those things are so normal.
Part of that's, I think, really actually feeling it, really feeling it in your body.
Absolutely, yeah.
Rather than blocking it out. I think that's so important, and that's part of the mindfulness to notice it physically in your body and be aware of it.
Absolutely, yeah. And if it's happening in group settings, express it. Say, I'm feeling really angry. You know, I think a lot of men, a lot of people, but I'll speak about men. They can use those feelings as manipulation. They'll use them to manipulate. Like, and I think that's a no-no. Like, if I'm feeling angry, say for, I don't know, my partner, if I'm feeling angry, I'll be like, you made me angry. You made me pissed off. So you need to do this. So that, to a lot of men will be like, well, I'm expressing I'm angry. But you're saying that it's their responsibility that I'm angry. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a no-no. It's their responsibility that I'm sad.
We need to own it.
Yep. I'm feeling angry. What I need right now is to go and go train, or I need to talk about this, or I need a bit of rest, or come back to this tomorrow or something. You know, it's these things. This is what men need to do. They need to take full responsibility for their feelings. It's no one else's problem. I think we need to do stuff for ourselves. Like for me, training and hunting, that's for myself, but because that's for myself, it contributes to my family positively. And my partner's totally supportive of it. So it's a group effort. She knows that I need to go hunting for me, and she also knows it saves us a bit of money on meat. So that, you know, or sports, whatever it might be. If you have a sports club you need to pay a bit of fees to, then partners need, it's up to them, but I feel like there needs to be some support around that, because that helps men cope. They have friends, they're in communities, they have their feelings being validated by their mates, they're being allowed to get all this pent up, whatever it might be, adrenaline and testosterone, get it out there. Yeah, I think we need to be pushed physically every day. I also believe in like eating properly. I think growing our own food and catching our own food contributes. Huge, big time. I think that contributes to how we feel.
It's what we do for ourselves, getting out there and using energy, making sure we're supported within our relationships, within our communities, and talk about it.
Talk about it. Totally talk about it. Yeah. Talk about it as much as you can. Get it out there. Be a man. Don't be I don't know what the word, I'll call them a sookie. A hard man, you know, like, harden up. That's being a sookie. That's not right. Be a man and talk about it and feel your feelings and Yeah. Yeah. You're the man, bro.
Cheers.
Sweet as.
Please, please, check my eyes.
Kia ora. If you like what you see, follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube or go to our website to sign up for email updates from me. Keep liking and sharing our videos to grow the movement. Peace.
As I wipe the slate clean, share